Hey, howdy there again, folks. Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sam Platter videos, series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. We're going over there to try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then I talk about stuff. I let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious crap that, you can go over there and consume at your leisure at a potential later date. If you so choose so. It depends on the item, your taste, what you take away from the video, what you feel about my personal opinion of said items in said video. There's a multitude of factors that come into play. But I'm in the truck. If I'm in the truck and you watch my videos for a while, then you know that, hey, I must have been on a way, I was found a thing on a way to a place. There we go. That's what I meant to say. That is very much the case today. Also, while I'm doing this, I'm rocking a cool shirt today. I got my Okilly Dokilly shirt. If you're not familiar, and to anybody who watched, if I got a cool shirt, I'm going to talk about it. So, just deal. Okilly Dokilly, if you're not familiar, they are a Ned Flanders-based metal band. Came out about 5 years ago, I think. Something to that effect. They've been trucking along ever since. I actually got to see them at the time I'm doing this video. I got to see them perform last night. In fact, if you watch my channel and you watch anything other than my reviews, you notice that, hey, I also have concert videos on there. And so I actually have about 5 videos from, of just, Okilly Dokilly. And then I also have 2 videos for their opening act, Steak Sauce Mustache, who I also got a shirt for, so you'll probably end up seeing at some point in the video. They were excellent also, so definitely check them out. They're a load of fun. The only downside to this shirt is that the really cool design is on the back. It has this cool Ned Flanders Oni design. And when I bought the shirt at the merch table, I actually switched it out for the shirt that I came in originally wearing, because that one I'd had since the first time I saw him. It was a little bit snug, so I was like, And for probably 20 minutes, I was wearing it backwards because I thought that the design was on the front. But it's like, no, this is and then the thing. So anyway, you don't care. What am I trying for y'all today, folks? Well, boom! We've got some Beyond Meat jerky. It's plant-based, slow-roasted, and kettle-cooked. It's 10 grams of plant protein per serving. It's no GMOs, no soy, no gluten, 90 calories per package. It's fake out jerky again. You watch my videos, you know that, hey, not too long ago I've done some fruit jerky. I had a video where I did a mango, did some mango jerky, and then I recently just did one for pineapple. So this is basically the same thing. Well, I'm not saying it's the same product, but I found it at the same location, kind of an alternative jerky section, I guess. So I saw it. It's new. You can see the new. I figured, what the fuck, man? I'll give it a shot. So it's original flavored. I didn't see any other flavors, so I don't know if there are other flavors or if this is just the first one they've rolled out. I'm going to read the thing. Go beyond snacking with Beyond Jerky. Our tender cuts are marinated, slow roasted, kettle cooked for a full flavor, delicious bite. Made with 100% plant-based protein without GMOs. Blah, blah. All this shit's on the front, dude. You don't need to do it again. You can eat more of what you love with no compromises with 10 grams of protein per serving. It's perfect snack to keep you going. Beyond Jerky, slightly smoky, slightly sweet, and tender cuts with onion and garlic. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, yeah, for, anyone who might not be familiar, Beyond Meat, it's one of, the meat substitute things. It's, like the thing says, it's plant-based. So there's... It's interesting, though, because... It's interesting, because nowhere, despite saying no GMOs, no soy, no gluten, nowhere does it go over there and say, that I can find anyway, that it's, vegan-friendly. So, I'm clearly not vegan, but to any, potential vegan viewers, just keep that in mind, because it doesn't say it. I don't know if it is or it isn't, but I would imagine they would go over there and advertise that, were that the case. So, but then again, I don't know. I've actually tried a few like meat substitute items, typically from fast food places. What did I do? I did like Dunkin' Donuts. I think like I forget what their fake meat thing is, but I had like one of their like breakfast sandwiches. I also not too long ago I did the KFC, the like Beyond Chicken Tenders or whatever the hell they are. So go watch those videos if you're interested. I figure I'll give it a shot. Do I think it's going to be as good as proper jerky? Probably not, but, hey, man, we'll go through it. I'll say this, it's got a nice smell to it. I can smell it even from down there. It does smell smoky-ish and jerky-ish. But I will say, obviously I'd have to have them, right next to each other. But I will say I don't know that I'd... Definitely it doesn't smell quite like jerky. It's more the smokiness and everything that you're smelling. Versus with jerky, you still get some of that meat smell. So, anyway. Got a little dehydration packet in it, so. And there it is. That's what it looks like. It's not entirely far off from looking like jerky. The nice thing with jerky is you can kind of get away with it because it doesn't look appetizing. It's dried flavored meat. So, yeah, you can kind of get away with it. Like I said, I wouldn't say it's 100% on point. If I were to pick this up just by visual and no one told me what it was, at the very least, I would assume it wasn't beef jerky, maybe like chicken or something like that, because it doesn't quite look like beef jerky. So, let's try some stuff. Got a nice chew on it. It doesn't feel like overly fibrous or anything inside the mouth. You know what? Okay. I'm gonna give it some credit. That actually was pretty damn good. Like I said, it's got a nice chew on it, which I was, one of the things I was kind of worried about was like, all right, well, how's it going to chew? Because beef jerky's got a nice chew to it. It's a nice eating experience. It's part of the jerky experience, in my opinion. Now, it was a little bit tough. So it kind of maybe felt like it was a little bit drier than like a typical jerky with the chewing experience. Took a little bit to get it going, but once moved around the mouth enough, kind of softened it up, and at that point it was pretty easy to chew. So, taste-wise, it's not bad at all. Like, it's genuinely pretty solid. Because basically what it is like you're tasting the seasoning. And the seasoning tastes good. Like, they did a good job of seasoning it properly. It's very flavorful. Definitely could get some garlic in there. It's got tiniest bit of heat that kind of goes to the back of your throat. I wouldn't say it's spicy a bit. It's got a little something extra. I guess that's the smokiness. But yeah, honestly, it's pretty damn good. Going into it, I didn't really know what to expect. I figured they'd at least try to ballpark it, get it something close. But I'm gonna go with it. Is it as good as, like, proper good beef jerky? No, not quite, because the seasoning tastes good, but it does lack that meat flavor, obviously. That's underneath, no matter what you put on jerky, whether it's teriyaki or barbecue, after everything's said and done, you get a nice meaty flavor. This doesn't have that. It's just seasoned all the way through. It doesn't taste anything like plants, though. Let me emphasize that real hard. So for me, again, like, if I were just going off this blind, like, I definitely wouldn't think that it was like a plant-based jerky. I would assume that it was like, if it were just, like, in a bowl or something, something where there was no packaging involved. I think I would probably just assume that, like I've had, like, jerky from, like, people, like, people, like, people I've known in person who make, like, their own jerky. I would maybe assume that it was something like that. Like, it's not like a Jack Link's or something like that. Those are moister, a little bit thicker than you typically get with, like, homemade jerkies. Not saying homemade jerky is, better or worse, depends on who's making it. I've had some phenomenal homemade jerky. This would kind of be, that's sort of what I would think, is, like, it's some sort of homemade jerky. Not the best, because the texture quality a little bit drier than I'd used to. But, flavor-wise, they got the flavor down. Is it, it's not a one-to-one, but it's honestly not that far off. Like, again, if I were just going into it completely blind, I would not expect that this was a plant-based jerky. I think this really works well for what the Beyond Meat stuff does, because a lot of times one of the biggest points of contention with alternative meat products is the texture. It just doesn't quite add up. No matter what they do to it, at least in my experience. And mind you, they're usually not too far off, but they don't quite have it down. So, with this, though, it's really genuinely pretty close enough. Yeah, I mean, I'll actually give it to it. I really will. It tastes good. The texture isn't entirely dissimilar from what it's supposed to be. Maybe doesn't quite look the part. It maybe, isn't 100% of the way there, but, like, I'd be willing to go over there and give it, like, 85% of the way. Like, genuinely, like, that 15% is really just the meat flavor. And with the way that it's seasoned and everything, it actually tastes good. Like, for me, would it replace proper jerky? No. But at the same time, I also wouldn't mind getting it again at some point. Like, depending on circumstances. The problem is, of course, it's with the other jerky. I'm typically going to go with the other jerky. But it's not bad. Like, would I recommend it? Like, yeah, genuinely, like, give it a shot. Even if you're not someone who, because, I mean, it's no GMO, no blah, 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 all that stuff. Whether you're into that or not. Give it a shot. I genuinely think that most people would be surprised. I certainly was. It tastes good. I don't know health-wise, because I always emphasize whenever it comes to, like, healthy stuff or whatever on my channel, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not in a position to go over there and tell you shit. Do your research, find out if it works for you. Certainly if you're somebody who is maybe transitioning away from meat, but you still want, to have a similar experience, I think this works perfect for it. I really do. I don't think that you would be disappointed at all in what this has to offer. And if you're like me and you're just someone who's a little bit adventurous, you want to try some stuff, yeah, try it. It's good. So, yeah. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. If you could go over there and have yourselves a beyond rest of your life. I mean, maybe not quite as good as the actual stuff, but yeah, 85%, that's still pretty good. That's better, let's be honest, folks, that's better than most of us will probably do in our lives. Most of us are like, I'd say 35 to 65 range personally. Hooray, living! But final two things for me, folks. Good. Have yourself a great... Final two things for me, folks. Number one, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated, even if it doesn't always feel like it. But you can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's to you, folks. You try not to be an asshole. Okay? You're going to fail sometimes. It's going to happen. I'm not going to judge it. I mean, I will, depending on what you did and, what circumstances. But for general assholishness, no. Because you're going to make mistakes. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness. If you can't put the good stuff out there, don't take it back. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Maybe you're going to go over there. You're going to, you're going to get your own Beyond Meat thing. And you're going to find a way to perfect the formula. And it's going to be like the perfect meat substitute. And it's not going to clog your arteries up or do any of the things. And then we can go over there and we can just have cows. And they'll just be cows for the sake of being cows and not for eating cows. And chickens and all that stuff and everything. We can all live happily together. I mean, I'm clearly somebody who enjoys eating animals. But it doesn't mean that I don't feel bad on some level. Cows are cool animals, man. They didn't do a damn thing to anybody. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me. Or, hey, if you're not going to do the thing that I was talking about, go over there and, plant some roses or something like that. Make your house look all pretty. Bye.